Everybody's Gone to the Rapture is an experience. An array of really diverse, vivid emotions that spawn from just wandering and observing a mostly empty town. I've honestly never experienced anything like it. This one's gonna be kinda tough to explain. I'm Alana, welcome to Button Bash.
If you could just have a word with them, perhaps. They listen to you.
Everybody's Gone to the Rapture is a first-person adventure game developed by the Chinese Room, the same studio who made Dear Etza, which it's supposed to be a spiritual successor to. It was originally announced for PC, but it's currently only available on PlayStation 4, and man, does the small English town featured look beautiful on CryEngine. The residents of the town, Shropshire, have mysteriously disappeared, and your goal, though it's a very loose goal as there's no blatant encouragement, is to figure out where everyone went and why and how, at least sort of. You don't really have to do anything. And I absolutely just adored walking around the empty town and exploring. I actually spent quite a lot of time ignoring the fairly alluring gold floaty orby thing that guides you through the game in favor of exploring people's houses and backyards and empty streets. But as for a kind of narrative, the game drops you outside of an observatory to start with, greeted with the view of the town below and the hint of a sunset on its way. There's a single road leading into the town, but there's also your trusty golden orb thing, leading you to various locations where equally golden and orby silhouettes of people from the town will sort of be activated, and you'll watch a scene unfold, one that occurred before you ever arrived. The light people feed you tiny threads of information about what exactly happened and some insight into the personalities of the town's inhabitants, but it's all very passive. The dialogue is subtle and real and genuine, and even though being dropped into this place is all very curious, it doesn't take the easy route and force feed you information. It's all breadcrumbed and ready to be consumed at your own pace, if at all. There's minor interaction from you required to open some gates, and sometimes when you've found an orby thing, you have to tilt the controller to activate the scene. The narrative, if you could call it that, is all very well done, but it's not the reason that I liked this game so much. If I could pay money to go to an abandoned town like the one in Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, I now know that I would, because it just made me feel so many really intense emotions. There's so much detail in the emptiness and in your loneliness that I just constantly felt a sense of dread walking around, for one. I mean, you're walking around lush, grassy fields under a beautiful clear sky, and there really isn't anything sinister about the game at all. But that emptiness is just so foreign to what real towns are like that it's extremely unsettling, especially when the phone rings. At the same time, there are some beautiful little things, like an unfinished painting in someone's backyard of the house across the road. It's such a nice touch, and it's so nice to be fed the insignificant backstory of one of the people in this tiny abandoned town and just sort of peacefully imagine and piece together what living there might have been like. It feels incredibly real, and the graphics and CryEngine do a great job of complementing that. I sometimes felt relaxed. I sometimes felt like I was seconds away from a jump scare. It was inconsistent and really alluring in that emotional inconsistency. But yeah, this game is just as hard to explain as I thought it would be. It's different, and it made me feel stuff. If you're looking for action and interaction and gameplay and you like fast-paced games, don't bother with this one. I think Everybody's Gone to the Rapture is a game for a very specific kind of person, the kind who's okay with getting lost in a little town for a few hours and is content to just explore and enjoy the silence. If you're one of those people, you'll probably be just as touched by this experience as I was. It's very, very different. I'm Alana, thanks for watching Button Bash.